Hi, Trevor again. This is podcast episode 4, recorded on December 1st. All right, we're recording now. So this is podcast episode number 4. And this time we have kind of our first guest, I would say.
Yeah, you could say that.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Christian Cottwitz, and I'm a junior at ONW. I'm involved with baseball and bowling. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so he's not a part of our engineering group, but I thought since we're behind schedule, I'd bring somebody else on to kind of show them what we're all about, and we could talk about a couple things. So how are things going?
They're going pretty good, but it's definitely been interesting, I would say.
Yeah.
Going back to that online setting, it was real nice going back into in-person for a little while and kind of doing like that hybrid model. And besides that, going back to online, I think is a little sad, I guess. It's more relaxing, you could say. Kind of that online setting, and you're at like your own home and stuff. But besides that, I mean, I guess the workload I think is a little different. I think in person it was a little bit more challenging, but online it's a little bit lighter, but sometimes it's harder to focus.
Yeah, so it is kind of relaxing, especially like today when we have seminar as one of our main hours, because it's basically just kind of like a big break in the day. But, 3/4 of an hour a day, back when we were in class, that was nice. But then again, you only have half a class versus now you have a full class, yay, double the class period, yay, time wise. But you can't actually do anything with the robots. So it's just a lot of talk. On the bright side, though, they did let us take the bot home to somebody's house, and that's where we can work on, at that person's home. But yeah, we talk about a few things in engineering. We actually have a few pictures of our bot right now. Let me pull it up. I'll try to screen share real quick.
So my brother was in BattleBots his senior year, and remind me, is this BattleBots or is it? I know there's different divisions and like different classes you can take with the BattleBots and all sorts of stuff like that. So can you remind me what like the goal of the robot is?
Yeah, so all those things, those are like capstones.
Right.
This robot is meant to perform. It's a competition bot like the battle bots, but as opposed to just saying, like a blood sport. This one is made to launch discs into a goal. It's more of a traditional sport.
How long has it taken to build your guys' robot to the point where it is right now?
So I'll go ahead and show you pictures of the robot. As for how long we've been working on it, we've been working on it pretty much since day one.
Oh, wow.
That is the first one. Yeah, so right now, this is what all of our work has basically come to.
Yeah, I guess I'm not that experienced into robots and this type of stuff. So maybe walk through like the different parts.
So up top, these two wheels, like I said, we launch discs, kind of foam flexible discs. So these motors here, they'll spin, and then you put the disc in there, and it'll shoot it.
Real quick, how far is like the goal? Or I'm thinking like football almost in my head. How far is the goal from where you're actually shooting the disc? You can give me a general idea.
I don't know. I think, let's see here. So the game field's about like maybe the size of like a half court shot, maybe like a king size mattress.
Okay.
That's not that far, but it's kind of, technical problem, I would say.
Right.
And so moving on from that, it looks like right now we have 6 motors. We have 2 motors for the shooter and then 1 for each wheel. So these 2 are probably going to be front wheels, and these 2 are going to be the back wheels. Now, as for why these 2 are so close to each other, I think it's because we're going to use kind of like a bike chain to make the back tires move.
It looks like a tank, like especially if you put like a bicycle chain with
Yeah.
that. I mean, it looks like a little mini tank.
Yeah, I'm not real for sure why we decided to go with using the chain like that. Like, it's not new technology to me. So when I was a junior, let's kind of rewind for a minute, if we will, because I was still doing very similar robotics things. So I built a bot, junior year. So all of our bots, and that was the very end of first semester. So all of our bots kind of stayed in the back room. over the course of winter break. But when school got canceled in March, we didn't have everything finished in the back. So coming back now, we're kind of just like scavenging the back room. So we're just kind of taking pieces we can. So
Yeah, scavenging for parts.
Mishmashed. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, it does look very tank-like, especially with like these almost kind of, tank-like treads or the covers of where the treads would go in the tank, I suppose.
So it's definitely crap. What do you call it? Not a stationary machine. It's a mobile. That's what I'm looking for. Like it's gonna be moving around and stuff, right?
Yeah, I've heard my fellow engineers kind of describe it as a turret because it has the main gun on there.
Is the main machine gonna be clear? Like once you guys finish, or have you guys gotten that far? Like the color of the actual, I guess the pink came from parts that you guys were looking for, like in the background. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pink seems to be our theme color this year.
Well, in the perfect world, what color would you want the robot to be?
Well, you know what? Because we're so constrained, we are actually the only representative from ONW that will be submitting a robot because there's just so much hectic stuff going on. With that being considered, I would say I want it to be blue and black to represent our school a little more and, let them know what school we hail from.
Yeah, it's not neon pink and neon green.
Yeah, you work on ONW now, so you know a thing or two about promotion.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Talk about promotion. There you go. There's
another sub-team. I'm on media. That's why I'm doing this podcast with you. There's outreach, which kind of, raises awareness and does promotion. So I forget, did you say you're on a podcast yourself or am I thinking of somebody else?
With ecom, we're trying to start up a few podcasts, and yeah, I'm thinking about starting my own, but yeah.
All right. Well, I'll promote yours anytime you want me to. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, something like that. As for the clear bits, I know a designer in my group really likes Lexan because I think it's easy to machine, so you can kind of make custom parts with it. Pretty durable for glass or like plastic, that sort of thing. So I guess you kind of made the executive decision on that. But let's go to the next picture. So that's a bit more up close.
So those are the gears right there, or remind me again. I'm sorry.
These two are motors. So
motor. Okay, sorry.
It's kind of like spin an axle.
Right.
Really, really fast, and it just functions like a wheel.
Yeah.
We don't currently have our wheels installed yet, or I don't know what's going on, but now that I have a closer look, you can kind of see like the teeth, almost kind of like gears on the motors.
Right.
That's where the bike chain will kind of line up. I think these are the kind of wheels we're going to go with. Get a load of these.
Oh, wow. It looks like a Beyblade on steroids.
Yeah, it's actually great because it can rotate in place and move forwards, and it can also strafe. So all those kind of fancy little, wheels are actually there for a purpose. So here this kind of shows a lot of our cables. So the way we actually control the robot via a controller, and that'll communicate with a phone. So this wire here will plug into a phone, and there's another phone on the robot, and that's how it wirelessly communicates. So it's a little.
So yeah, so then your controller's not actually plugged into the robot. Mm-hmm. That would not be very good.
Yeah, did your brother use a controller like this, or how much do you know about that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they did use a controller like that. I know they attached, I think a signal to the robot. It was like right behind like the battery or something. And they had a phone, and then I don't think he was a controller necessarily. I think he more was on the building side and more the I don't know what you would call it or the term would be, but basically drawing out the robot, I guess.
That would be design.
Yeah, he was design, and he kind of helped put the whole thing together almost. Mm-hmm. I think another guy in his group was the one who really was worried about controlling it. But yeah, that looks like a PS3 controller.
Combined with Xbox buttons.
Can you go back to a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so with those black and red wires, I'm assuming those connect then to like the wheels, to the battery, to the phone, and all that stuff.
Yeah, kind of like the battery, or like your idea of the battery is it's what it would connect to. So we have guys on programming that I think we had programming featured pretty heavily in the first couple
Yeah.
episodes of the podcast. So they will program actually how much power the motor will have for each wheel, as well as the shooter. So with them, they'll basically end up having, having built the feel of the robot when we finally control it. So they said that they might have like tryouts for who would be driver and shooter, like who would focus on driving the robot versus who would shoot the discs. And they said something about like, if we test everybody out, we can like have the controls custom tuned per driver, and we could just load up a different version, which sounded like a little overkill, but whatever works. There's a lot of moving parts in this whole ordeal.
Yeah, this operation. There's so much stuff. And I think definitely looking in, like not being in engineering and all that, it's like this is definitely there's more to what the eye sees,
Mm-hmm. I think that's all the pictures. So do you have any other questions?
You answered all of them. Is there anything else for someone who's not in engineering and like looking in, anything else that people maybe don't understand maybe, or things that you want us to know?
Well, that would be we actually have at least last year. This year it's been more complicated, but last year we had to actually buy stuff from websites. So if there was a part we wanted, we had to go buy it, and it was like another aspect of the build. It was budgeting.
Yeah.
Something I think that kind of goes understated in engineering a lot. But according to Mr. Hernandez, my teacher, we're pretty solid on, like, as far as money goes, we're pretty okay. I don't know. I'm not a huge finance guy, so I couldn't really tell you much.
Right. You're the doer, not the buyer or the investor.
Yeah.
Involvement. That's I think the last thing I wanted to talk about. How much time does this take in class and then out of class? And then with competition, how long do those things run?
I could say we work around the clock basically as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of lying, because not only do we not come after school that much, all right, let me rephrase that. It really depends on like what sub team you're on. So for a guy like me who's working on media, I could just be the media guy and just do these podcasts like once a week. Now technically be doing my job, or I could help my team out and come after school and work on the bot and organize things to make it easier on people, like design, build programming, actually physically handle the bot and try to get it up to par with where we need to be at in the schedule to get it ready for competition.
Right.
So teams like media outreach and like operations manager, which kind of heads media and outreach, they have us looking into the game manual right now to make sure we know all the rules. So when we do test runs, we're like a fully functioning, well-oiled machine. So that's kind of what occupies our time right now. But it really kind of falls down to, how much you're willing to do outside of the minimum expectancy. I could work really hard during the day and then kind of just, keep it at school, or I could come after school or go to the guy's house to work on it some more. But like I said, we still have some stuff we need to reconvene on as a whole class.
Right. And then what's the deadline? Or like when's competition? Or when's it supposed to be? I know with COVID it's crazy.
Oh man. It's these are things I should probably know. But
Yeah. No, it's all good.
I know last year we had the competition finish before the new year. Well, at this rate, we'd be happy to have the bot finished before we go to winter break. But
Yeah. I think honestly though, that was all the questions I had. I mean, I know the teachers are great in engineering. Like I said, my brother was in engineering. Hernandez is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's been interesting, to learn more about this robot. It's a tank, so
let's hope it's durable like a tank, built like a tank.
yeah, there you go.
maybe one of these days you could promote us on ONW now and do a guest podcast or something.
We'll have to do a story on you guys' robot for ONW now, or have you
Yeah,
guys on a late night show.
We'll get some school spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
I'll see you Thursday.
Yes, sir. Seminar, Zoom call.
Sounds good. All right. Peace out, man.
See ya.